Good afternoon. It's Saturday right now. I already forgot the date, the 9th of May. So, I filmed back in December and things got really busy for several activities and stuff I had to do for work. So, I didn't film. I did film one and then I messed up when I was editing it. So, I was like, okay, easiest way to fix this. And then was to throw it away. There was one other that I filmed that apparently I didn't save too, so my fault. But I did need to get back to doing it, and there's some stuff to discuss that makes it very worthwhile. I am going to later do a video of finishes, which was one of the things it's actually the one I recorded that apparently didn't save. So there we are with that. So, a couple things. I'm going to go through some of the stuff I have been working on lately. There are several things I finished that I don't have with me because they're in the process of being fully finished. One of them has been fully finished, and it's currently sitting at a model at the store that I work part-time at. And some others that are in the process of being fully finished, some that are here, some that are there at Sassy Jack's, so I don't have them. I'll do a video with all of them. So there have been a few finishes that were very close to finish when I filmed but weren't. So we are missing that element, and to gather them all up would have been a massive headache. So what we are going to do is the stuff that I've been working on recently that is not finished, and there are several different pieces. Some of them are There's one start that I don't know where it is because I did take it to work with me, which means it's in my locker at work, and that was Snails Hollow from Crypt. If I remember, since I'm going to be editing this at work tomorrow, I will take a picture and insert it. I'll actually make myself a note. It is on 40 count Frog Gray from Manny D. Donna. So, yes. Oh! There went my pin lid. So there's a note for that. Second one we'll do is the Saxon sampler. From Sassafras Samplers. This will actually be one of the ones that go to work and get framed and stay there. I do have it on a set of scroll bars, so to me, made the most sense to start at the bottom, so that is what I did. This is on Mayflower from Fox and Rabbit, 40 count. Using one strand of Hare silks over two. I have several part threads from when I was working on it. I do have guidelines for the middle in each end. So the last two pages are down here and completed, so I'm on these bands here, which are the next to the last two pages. But what makes me happy is I am done with alphabets. That is my least favorite thing about the stitch. Like, I don't mind stitching words, but and I don't even mind an alphabet. It's the multiple alphabets that get boring to me. So yeah, but I'm almost to the center, which when I insert the picture it will have the parrot and all that. That is actually why I like this, and I was like, yeah, I'll stitch that. It was for that parrot. Like I said, it's the one strand. This is the Verispa version that's charted on it. There's also MPIs, and I don't remember if there's a cotton on there or not. And I really need to try to stop playing with my hair, but it may not happen. So like I said, when I finish that actually won't stay with me. That will be there at work. It is a model for that. It came out at market last year as a booklet. And basically 2 weeks before market is when I was like, yeah, okay, I'll stitch it. Okay, so 3 we'll do. I knew I was going to do this. I just didn't have time to do notes and stuff before. So we are just writing what there is, and I'll go back and fill in. This is from Primitive Hare. I did do it last year, so really didn't get far. This is the very start of my Belle frog purse. So what I did for this is I went ahead and found the center of the fabric, gridded myself up to where I could place the eyeballs, and then the tip, like his nose, snout, whatever, and just stitching the bullfrog down. I did remove the grids because at this point I didn't really need them, but I've kind of realized after I get past the eyes, it will help me keep track of what rows I'm on. So since this will be finished as a purse, you're not going to see these edges, which is good because you see where I accidentally grabbed too hard when I was straightening stuff up in my hoop. I can use a fabric pin and make myself some notes, or I can put in some pins or safety pins or something. There's different ways that I can mark that so I don't lose track. But that is what I was working on for a little while yesterday, because I ended up going into work on my main job and was like, if I just have to do X's with Week's Bullfrog, because that is what it's called for. It's like 4 or 5 skeins. Like, I can do that. That'll be an easy last minute pickup. So it's not much to see besides more rows of bullfrog, but that's okay. Some of the other projects have some more to see. So in my complete, excuse me. And it is in my gallery on Instagram, is a plague doctor that I finished years ago. The interesting about that is that when COVID first started was really hitting really bad. I wouldn't say started because it started in 2019, but when it was getting really bad, I was working in New Orleans on an ambulance there because of COVID. And I did that original. That's when I worked and started and finished that original plague doctor that's in my gallery. So it's a very fun one. It's got a lot of I forgot the exact name. It's like McKenna Plague Doctor. Has the flowers on the hat and all that. This is the other plague doctor that looks much more masculine. From Buzzbee Designs. I did buy it on Etsy. I bought both of them at that time. Why I chose one over the other, I don't know. But this is a 32 count fat quarter of Lagoon from Picture This Plus. It's a beautiful fabric. I love it. I'm loving it. And I have 2 oval shaped frames that they're kind of this weird color right now. I'm going to go in, spray paint them black, because I did manage to find a pretty much identical color of silk to stitch this one in as the original one. And they'll be in matching frames and hang kind of like those old photos you'd find of couples, the male and the female, and they'd be like framed next to each other. That is the end goal. And will I reach it pretty decently fast? Yes. This is 1, a start, but 2, part of my future plans. So I did start We Are Blessed. I'm trying to keep a list on the order I go in because I didn't plan that at all. And there's one the same size that Teresa Kogut did that I think is like $250. Celebrate you. I have the pattern sitting elsewhere, but there's a wooden drum that you can paint in a symbol to display We Are Blessed. Well, this other round is the same size, so I don't know which one will go on the drum, but I am going to do them both. I did start We Are Blessed because that is the pattern I had first. It's a very, very small start. I am doing the DMC. I'm not doing the hand-dyes. A lot of it's small enough you're really not going to see much of anything for it to make a difference. Now, this is on 36 count. Vintage Country Mocha that I've had in my stash for a while. So the other small round that she came out with at Market is also going to go on this fabric. And one of them will go on the drum. I think the drum actually has a bottom. I just don't know if the bottom's hollow. Need to look more at it. I opened the kit up, look down, and go, oh my. And I'm like, I'll worry about it when I finish the piece. So they're both the same size. Short story is they're both the same size. One of them will go on the drum, one of them won't. I do not foresee myself buying a second drum to do it. Unless the drum ends up being like super simple to assemble, like easier than it seems like it will be. And it probably is. I'm just not wanting to paint. The other thing I started, I didn't post on Instagram because I did start this for my birthday, and I've worked on it some after that post. I haven't worked on the last week or so. This is the frame for Christmas Cat from Artsy Housewife. I love her frame, her borders. Her borders are so intricate and so awesome. This is my start for that. It is all the flosses as charted. Hand dyeds, all that. And this is on a piece of 40 count Winter Sea from Manny Di Donna. I'm actually liking this for Christmas stuff because I'm doing another piece on it that I haven't worked on recently. And I have a little bit more of the fabric, but it is a beautiful color. Just saying. Absolutely loving it. But yes, that was birthday start, so. It has been fun, and I do need to finish it. It's really, really small. I just keep getting distracted. And there's been several days where I just sadly haven't had time to stitch. Another thing I have worked on recently is my Deadly Aquarium. So I will show you this, and then we'll get into the drama that happened with this. So let me fold this down so I can hold this a little bit closer. Model. There we go. So I'm just under halfway. So when this came out, I was keeping up with it very well. And I was on time. They had the frame completely done, all that stuff. So I don't know how, because it didn't have a highlighter with it. I was working off my iPad for the pattern, so there wasn't a paper that was marked. It ended up with a giant, it looked like pink highlighter stain on it. I still have no clue where it came from. And so I had to restart it because there was no getting it out. And it was a beautiful piece of fabric. I actually am liking that fabric better though, so it's okay. So it has spent a lot of time and time out because it's just been kind of frustrating to have to restart it and do that. Yes? Well, come here. I don't know if you heard him meowing. You'll see him come in the door by my shoulder over here. Hello, Harry. What you doing? I see your booty behind my chair. You coming up? Oh, there we go. Troublemaker. So, like, I've gone through phases where I've worked on and where I haven't worked on. I've actually been working on it quite a bit until yesterday. Like for the last week or so. So I've made quite a bit of progress. So yes, it did go in a semi-permanent timeout after restarting it, just for the frustration of restarting it. I know. But I love hers, and I actually, like I went on and I did start Extraordinary Birds, which I have no clue where that is right now. And I did, and it's actually going to be the next one I show, is her New Stitch Along, which I started and then I kind of stepped away from. So I'm loving the colors on it. I'm loving these cards I found to put them on. They're extinct or endangered animal themed. So you can't really tell on that. It's more some of the, like the face cards. Really beautiful cards. Like, I love the backs too. And this is on a piece of 40 count Rose Fog for Manny Di Donna. We had a 36 count, which I really thought about, but I wanted the pink that's in it. And the 36 counts we have did not show that pink as well, which kind of can't tell if it's really showing up that well there or not. It doesn't seem like it to me from my end. And yes, he's probably going to stay here for a while. Because I did work last night and he didn't come with me to that job. And then I was at Sassy Jack's all day working, so he wasn't there with me today. And I did give him some attention when I got home, but sometimes you just need mama snuggles. If you saw the orange, that was the kitten. That is a menace to society, I swear. He fulfills the stereotype of orange cats very strongly. I also spent some time on another much older whip. My peacock unicorn and a badger. Yes, there is still a needle because I was working on it on a Zoom stitch along because that night was full coverage. So, and I'm just going to show you the seam minder. I love the seam minder. Don't remember where I got it, but love it because it's a little ghost cat, little fishies on his sheet. So I do have it based out the entire width, but not the entire height. This is just a plain white 32 count. I am doing the DMC, and you know what, I'm okay with that because it's a lot of thread, but that's okay. Now, I saw advertised, and I'm contemplating, and I haven't started kitting it yet. I haven't bought the pattern yet. It's like the Kraken and Mermaid. I don't remember exactly what it was called. Giving serious contemplation of that. Which kind of segues away. Segue. See if my pen works. That's kind of a good point to go into what future plans are for this summer. I'm calling it my summer starts. Anything that I want to start, have thought about starting, because I have a lot of patterns that I want to start and I just haven't. And I've been like, well, I need to just kind of keep it easy, cut down on my whips. I've decided, screw that. If I want to do it, I'm starting it this summer. So what I have done is I've kind of focused on getting the stuff I need for particular projects, like the fibers. There's a few pieces of fabric I've had to get. There are a couple new things I did pick up because they are new this year. Like I've been putting on, I haven't really contemplated starting the two Plum Street ones, the 250 and Worthy Patriot. I do have Worthy Patriot. The orders for 250 are closed, but I have a friend who bought copies of it, so she had gotten a copy of it because she thought I might want to. So like I have the stuff for that. I need to go through my DMC and see what I have for several patterns on the DMC side before I start buying DMC. Maybe I should film somewhere else. Hey. Leo. You're on camera. You see my pile right there of stuff as I dropped it there on top of my backpack. So yes, I'm going to, if I like it and I've been planning to start it, there's a very good chance it's going to get started this summer. I don't feel like I need to start every single little thing because that makes it feel like pressure. But my plan is probably starting this next week because it's my short week at my main job where I won't be there as much this week. So, and I got like a nice long stretch of 5 days, which originally, since Sunday is Mother's Day, I was going to go visit my mom. That did not work out, and I'm exhausted and don't feel like driving and several other things. So did get something ordered for her for Mother's Day, and it's been shipped to her, and I will go visit her later. The thought right now of the drive there, because she has moved, is now going to be like a 2-day or at least a day and a half kind of trip now. Because driving like 18 straight hours, just the thought of it's exhausting. So I will go see her later. So I will probably start this next week because I have several things at a point where I can start them. And I'm not going to worry about finishing anything. I'm not going to worry about how many whips I have. I'm just going to start them. Now, like one thing I've started that isn't right here with me is the Beneath the Waves. That was the kind of coordinated thing at market this year with the palette from Cottage Garden Threads. I started the Ink Circles one of the Ink Circles, Gone Fishing. But each of those are going to count as one because I have cut the fabric, and I did manage to find every single one of them. Because one, I really like the palette, but two, I really like the theme, and I really truly do like all the patterns in it. So there's a total, because one pattern has actually 2 patterns in it, there's a total of 30 designs. And I do have them all, including the freebies. Yes, I'm a little crazy. But, like, I want to start those. There's the two Plum Streets. There's several things that I have kitted that I'm not going to go into the details, because if I don't feel like starting it, I'm also not going to start it. It is whatever. I will start whatever I feel like starting whenever I feel like starting it, which I kind of do anyways to a certain extent. I've been kind of focused on working on older projects lately because I have run out of project bags. I destashed a lot of them because I wasn't using them, because while they were in storage, I had them in Ziploc bags with a piece of paper saying what they were, so that when they were in storage and if I needed it sent to me, they just had to flip through and read those cards and not try to identify a project. And, you know, I had gathered them all back with me, but I really didn't undo that form of storage in the Ziplocs because it was just easy. The first house I was in out here, I was like, I know this isn't where I'm staying. It's not a great place. It was a place I found very quickly so that I could bring Hare and Sweetheart out here with me and make a decision, which I'm like, am I staying out here? Am I going? Is this where I want to be? So on and so forth. And even if I move now, I like the area. I do foresee staying in the area, which is why I've kind of slowly started putting them in project bags, and found that when I destashed project bags, because I had so many of them, I accidentally destashed too many, which at that point I really hadn't. I mean, I still had stuff in Ziplocs, but so the contemplation of learning how to make them is kind of know how to make them. I just don't enjoy sewing on a sewing machine, and doing that kind of stuff may have to go to the wayside. But that's a decision about. They can go in zipper pouches or Ziplocs. If it's stuff I'm not actively working on, it won't matter. I'm not going to worry about it. So, like I said, I'm just going to start where I want to start. And then my thought is for the fall, I'll worry about the stuff that is like partially done, old and new, and look at doing a fall of finishes, not fully finished. We're not getting that ambitious. And then look at 2027 being a year where I try and finish a lot of things, like the stitching at least, and then work on fully finishing more stuff. Like I'm slowly getting caught up on getting stuff framed and mounted and laced and all that, but it's nowhere near as much fun. I mean, I can't be the only one who feels like that, but I do need to start kind of moving along that way so I can actually enjoy it and have there be a point for all the work I did. So in that, and so I say no starts in 2027, and that's not exactly right, because I know there are some things that are going to come out that I'm going to want to do. Like, there's a pattern of Lola releasing a stitch along every spring/summer. I'm probably going to want to do that. I liked all the others, so I'd say I will more than likely like that one too. So I'm not leaving it at no new starts. I will allow myself to start stuff, but I may put some caveats to it. Like, if I start one, I need to at least finish one or two. Something like that. Make it. But then I don't know. That. You coming back? They're both back. I don't know where Sweetheart is, but Leo and Hare are here. I still have, it's only May. I still have 7 months to figure out the concepts for 2027. But like this summer, it doesn't matter how many webs I have. If I have, I will say this, if I start it, it's either going to have all the floss or most of the floss. I may be short a color or two because there are some that are hand dyes that are just sold out right now everywhere. So that, but I will have at least most of the colors. If it requires beads, like a couple mirabilias that I want to start, that I have most of the stuff for, and I just found awesome fabrics for, beads are not included in that, because if I do any color changes, it's going to change the bead colors. But also I have a decent stash of beads and I need to go through that first, and I haven't even started going through that. I have started going through my flosses, so in a way this idea of summer starts helps, because I'm pulling stuff out of that and it will be in those kits, so there's less there sitting in the back in the stash. So as I organize it and put it in the cubby boxes here, which I might need to get more of those, there's less I'm having to work with. And so then as I finish stuff, we'll just go in the empty spots, because I'll still plan for those spots for the stuff that's pulled for projects, but it won't be in that mix that I'm having to mess with. To me, it seems like a good idea. It may not be, but it feels like a good idea. It feels like I'd motivate myself to actually finish organizing, which is also no fun, and it only periodically happens when I feel the urge to. But the idea of putting this together and then going on to that actually makes it feel more manageable, is a good way of doing it. And then if I have most of that done by the end of summer, as I'm aiming to finish, definitely not Peacock Unicorn or Badger, not so much Saxon Sampler, but like Deadly Aquarium and stuff like that, as I'm finishing and I have the leftover floss, it'll be set up to where it's going to be much easier to put that stuff away and not as overwhelming, maybe. I said maybe. So, what are you doing, Leo? If everything blacks out randomly, no, he's not playing with the cord. He's trying to climb in where the little cabinet where some of the cords are plugged into. I'm watching you. Yeah. Trouble all around. But that being said, I do have a few that I'm very close to fully finishing. Like I did post a picture of the spotted and striped skunk. I did find both finishing kits finally. I had misplaced them, and when I say finishing kits, it came with the fabric and the ribbon to make the pillow, but not the stuff to stuff them. All I need to do now with those is stitch them together. I've pressed them, I've pressed the other fabrics. Hey! So those are very close to being a full finish, and they probably will be. I even have stuff to stuff them somewhere. If you want to chase each other down, please go do it elsewhere. Not that you're paying any attention to me. Excuse the small mess. Yeah, look at that, Harry. I'm watching you. So, it's kind of a short video for me, but that is kind of where I stand. I will do a video finishes later because I do need to collect my other finishes. But I believe that's a hint that I should pay more attention to them for a little while. So I will let you go. It will probably be Sunday or Monday before this gets posted because I will probably be editing it tomorrow because I think I'm getting hints that I need to pay attention to them for a while. So I will see y'all later and y'all have a good weekend. Bye.